Hello everyone, this is Tanya from the Saved by King Jesus channel. Welcome back. Well, I want to show you this video today because I'd like your guys' thoughts on it. I did research it, this Project Blue Moon Pandora's box, and I didn't really come up with much for it. However, that doesn't mean a whole lot, given the fact that we know the Nephilim mixed species. I mean, look at what the angels did and then created the Nephilim. The Nephilim went on to create monsters, as we all know. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts on this.
That they were keeping these anomalous species in containment, and you released them.
Joe, when I tell you I'd sifted through hundreds of these different encounter stories, dozens of mission documents under Operation Blue Moon, dealing with the extinction and extraction of these anomalous species. These agencies had been hunting them down for generations, bringing them to special containment centers for species preservation. And as I sift through hundreds of these encounter documents, I find the coordinates of an anomalous species containment facility labeled Pandora's box, which had been holding hundreds of these different anomalous species that had been tracked over the years. And while
And you went to the facility?
Joe, I just needed to see it for myself. I'd headed straight to the coordinates of the facility, and as soon as I'd walked inside, you'd sort of just wished you hadn't. Shivers are just going down my spine as I'm standing in this dark, ambient facility with just hundreds of these containment units holding all these creatures. I mean, the things I'd seen, Joe, as I'd walked through these corridors, all these creatures that I'd just been reading about were now staring me in the face. And as I proceed to walk down this assorted aisle of what I'd once thought as myth, I look at each one of them as they stare back at me. I see the horrific two-horned devilish creature from Thomas's encounter. I see a tall, slender, multi-eyed, almost human-like creature. And I remember trying to not hold eye contact for too long with them. As you could imagine, it was beyond bone-chilling. But I keep walking. I see this tall, white-furred creature that had looked so much more man than ape. I'd felt bad he was contained as I'd kept walking. I'd seen dozens of these monstrous, man-like creatures that had stood upright. Then there were the aquatic phenomena. I'd seen a tentacled, ferocious shark-like creature with a horrific set of teeth, enormous spiders and serpents, some of which so big they'd had custom holding tanks, large-headed, tarantula-legged creatures. But as I'd gotten to the back of the facility, I see a huge grated door labeled "Do Not Open," and boy, do I wish I'd hadn't. But tired of the lies, I just wanted no stone unturned. And I scanned that key card once more, and I'd opened the door. As soon as I'd locked eyes with this creature, I'd came to the gut-wrenching realization of why he was in a secured unit.
What happened?
Joe, I couldn't move. I mean, I was physically frozen. I couldn't step closer if I wanted to. I was just locked into the gaze of this serpent-eyed creature with the scaled skin body of a man. It felt like it was inside my head. And as my breath patterns started changing and my body began taking uncontrollable steps in the other direction, I'd realized it had taken over my central nervous system. I'd tried to resist my body's movements, but this creature was operating through me. And I walked in trembling fear back through these corridors with no idea where I was headed, right up to a control panel that had been labeled Containment Unit Protocols, and fighting with every ounce of my being to stop it, my hand went straight to the emergency release button and pressed it, and I just heard the doors of all of these containment units open. As I'd realized, I just released hundreds of anomalous species into North American soil.
There's power in Jesus' mighty name, the Most High name. Our King Jesus didn't bring us this far to abandon us now. You were called, you were chosen. You were knit together in your mother's wombs, fearfully and wonderfully made. We are called to serve. King Jesus bless you all.